Hello world, from whichever time zone you're catching me from, my name is MD90. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so that you do not miss the uploads that come up. And the easiest way for you to navigate the channel is to head to the playlist. You'll find videos curated for you based on your interest. So if you're interested in the Kutika podcast, you'll find a playlist for that. For news and trends, there's a playlist for that. Exclusive with MD90, a bunch of playlists that are created based on your interest. So the easiest way to navigate the channel is head straight to the playlist and you'll find what you're here for. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Right next to the subscribe button is the join button. You click on the join button so that you can become a member of the channel. You support the team on the production and a number of things that we're doing here, and we appreciate that.
Well, this image of President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, and Gary Nkombo has been making rounds on social media with the caption, Plan B. As you may be aware, Edgar Lungu, when he lost his case in the Constitutional Court, he stated to say Plan B was in session. So now, because of the news that I'm about to give you, which has just happened Friday evening into Saturday, which has prompted the segregation of Gary Nkombo having a conversation with Edgar Chagwa Lungu, should have been at one of the events that were taking place. This is at the Cathedral of the Holy Cross, the one that is at a roundabout next to the High Courts there. So you can see DJ Kasudi there just simply posted the same picture and saying Plan B. And this is what prompted that meme or this picture of Edgar Chagwa Lungu and Gary Nkombo. State House published this late Friday evening. So they said, President Hichilema terminates the appointment of Honorable Gary Nkombo. So President Hakainde Hichilema, as pursuant to Article 270 of the Constitution of the Republic of Zambia, terminated the appointment of Honorable Gary Nkombo, Member of Parliament, as Minister of Local Government and Rural Development. The President has since appointed Sinazongwe, Member of Parliament, Honorable Gift Sumuza, as a minister. President Hakainde Hichilema has thanked Honorable Nkombo for his service rendered to the people of the Republic of Zambia. The President has congratulated the newly appointed minister and wishes him God's blessings in his new role. Issued by Brentford Machila, Principal Private Secretary, State House. So this is the news that came up, simply informing the nation to say Gary Nkombo had been fired by President Hakainde Hichilema. And really, no one could see this coming, because in recent past years, Gary Nkombo was issued a statement, should have been 2 weeks ago, where he was saying the UPND is bound to go for a national convention right before the general elections in 2026. So people are saying, is he trying to contest or go against President Hakainde Hichilema at the time? Which I highly doubt he intended to do that. If he intended to run as president, probably it would have been in 2031 after President Hakainde Hichilema does his 2 terms. That's if he wins the 2026 elections. But that didn't sit well with a certain section of the UPND. They thought he was throwing his hat in the race. But yeah, there are a number of things that he was doing that seems to be like a free spirit, pretty much in the UPND. And then Emmanuel Mwamba put up this post to say, Hichilema fires Gary Nkombo. Now that's a big one, meaning pretty much he's the first cabinet minister to be fired. Everyone else that has been fired. The other one that was fired was Minister of Communication, the lady. So the first big fish, pretty much, that's what he means there. So he says, now that's a big one. President Hichilema has fired his friend and one of the most senior long-term members of the United Party for National Development, UPND. Hichilema fired Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, a long-time Mazabuka Member of Parliament, Honorable Gary Nkombo. He has replaced him with Sinazongo Member of Parliament, pretty much replicating the same news there of the firing of Gary Nkombo, and the new Minister of Local Government is the man that's standing to Mnangagwa there. You can see. And then Hari Kalawa says, Gary Nkombo, you're a patriot. Thank you for rejecting the dubious constitutional amendments. You will be vindicated soon. So you can see now the public is speculating. So according to Harry Kalawa, he says the reason why Gary Nkombo has been fired is because he's not in support of President Hakainde Hichilema's proposed roadmap to amend the constitution or pretty much change the constitution. I doubt that's the reason, but anyway, he's free to speculate since the State House letter did not state the reason for his firing. They simply said he's been fired or his contract has been terminated. But obviously, people are free to speculate. If proper details are not given, you cannot hold the public silent like that. Emmanuel Mwamba says, so how come he has not appointed and replaced Gary with a youth or a woman MP? So he laughs it off because part of the argument the UPND has been putting across with regard to the wish to amend our constitution is that no, they want to save the youths and also those with disabilities and women. So he says, why didn't he pick from that pool within the UPND? And then obviously the mayor for Ndola also says rights. I hope he has not been fired because he's a good friend, is my good friend, and we rock. To say a house has a lot of space. As it said, my father's house has many rooms. So pretty much he's simply offering an olive branch to Gary Nkombo to join the Tonse Alliance. I honestly don't see that happening, but anyway, the opposition is free to shoot at getting Gary Nkombo because he's a big fish in the political scene. That's a fact. And then copied said, fire me on a Friday. I would. I can delete Mama Fauzia Citizens. Citizens Development Fund, which one CDF owns. So people saying memes have been going around. That's one of them. Then obviously, pretty much more news says President Hakainde Hichilema bold move or self-sabotage. So pretty much an article has been put up asking to say, is this a bold move from the President Hakainde Hichilema firing Gary Nkombo, or is it self-sabotage? Because it looks like what happened with Shimbakambwe right before the elections when Edgar Chagalungu fired him. Yes, Shimbakambwe ended up losing the Ron seat and also is a member of his seat in parliament, but the damage that he did to Edgar Chagalungu and the PF, they are not able to recover from that. So if Gary Nkombo takes that route, yes, obviously he's going to lose that seat as the member of parliament for Mazabuka when by-elections are called. But the damage that he would do to President Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND if he goes rogue and starts speaking his mind, because it's going to be. But anyway, let's wait and see how it plays out. But yeah. So that is one way it can play out because this script doesn't look very different from what happened to Shimbakambwe. Anyway, and then Munia Zulu says, it is the beginning of the end. Is it the beginning of the end? Honorable Nkombo is one of the few members that listen to all. Those that are intent to join the United Party for National Development, UPND, are now doomed. So this is an independent member of parliament from Lumezi. Munia Zulu simply says, Gary Nkombo had that ability to move between the two aisles, both in the opposition and within the UPND. So anyone that aspired to join the UPND from the independent members of parliament should weigh their options at this point, because it seems like the cards that are left within the party would not be able to listen to divergent views. That's Munia Zulu there. And then an opinion poll was put up there. What do you think about Nkombo's exit? Is it right? Just 4%? Is it wrong? 17%? And then the Ashiawe, that's their business, 79%. So pretty much people saying they couldn't care less about this. And then Mao Sampa says incoming and outgoing CDF posters. So that's on the left, you see the new Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, and then Gary Nkombo, the one that has been fired according to Mao Sampa there. And then obviously the UPND in diaspora and reacting to this firing, saying Gary Nkombo is supposed to be our next. Gary Nkombo was supposed to be our next party president in 2031. We need more information on why. So people are demanding to say, yes, it's a prerogative of the president to fire and hire who he wishes, but it's only required of him to take account and simply explain certain decisions to the people, because if you look at within the UPND, the only possible threat that Hakainde Hichilema would have within the internal politics is either Gary Nkombo, Cornelius Mwetwa, and should be the Minister of Local Government. Like if they were to contest to say they want to stand as presidents within the party, those are the ones that you'd say those are formidable candidates. The rest of the people is just for formality, really. So now, if you kick out one of the people that is looked as the next presidential candidate, people are only right to demand for an explanation. And then he goes further to say, I guess I'm loyal to the people that led us during dark times in opposition. Gary Nkombo has been with us during the trenches. Move with him, to move with him from that ministry. So he says, Gary Nkombo proved his loyalty to not only to the party UPND, but also to President Hakainde Hichilema. Because if you remember when Hakainde Hichilema's house was surrounded by paramilitary officials, that's when he was charged with a treasonous case by Edgar Chagalungu. Gary Nkombo was the first member of parliament to respond to his house. He was even actually beaten by the police. If you've seen those videos, that were filmed during that interaction at Hakainde Hichilema's house during opposition. So in terms of loyalty, you cannot question him on that. He had proved his loyalty over time. Because him being a formidable candidate against Hakainde Hichilema has always been thrown out there. If you remember, even the time that GBM was vice president for the UPND, and when it was alleged to say he was making inroads to take over the party from Hakainde Hichilema, it's alleged to say GBM first approached Gary Nkombo, and it is Gary Nkombo that informed President Hakainde Hichilema to say GBM was making such moves, and then obviously he was sidelined and eventually moved out of the party. So in terms of his loyalty, you cannot question him on that. But he's not one of those people that will simply take an answer he doesn't take things without questioning. So probably maybe the president did not like that. He demanded people simply to obey his word. So those are simply speculations that are coming along. And obviously, Brian Apunda, this is the Socialist Party media director. He says Gary was cut from a different cloth. His advice to his colleagues in cabinet meetings to stop the constitutional amendment as it was ill-timed against the wish of the majority of citizens has costed him his job. So he say this one, Brian Apunda, Socialist Party president, reinforces Harry Karawa's point where he was saying the reason why Gary Nkombo has been fired is because he was against the constitutional amendment bill that the UPND is moving to parliament, and it has costed his job. We're yet to find out if that's a reason. But let's wait for the weekend to pass. When Monday comes in parliament, we'll see how this plays out. It might even be earlier than that because the UPND is likely to start holding press conferences. I just hope they use the official channels where it's either the chief government spokesperson, Cornelius Mwetwa, that issues the statements. Otherwise, if they allow it, no youth chairperson, no media director issuing statements, it's going to be contradictory to what probably the top authority wants to push at the agenda in that sense. And then Aaron Peter Mwale asks him, wasn't this the opportunity to appoint a woman, a youth, or someone with disability? Whereby simply laughs it off to say, so if the UPND and President Hakainde Hichilema is pushing that agenda to say why they want to make changes to the constitution is because of those 3 points, either the women, youth, or people with disability. This is the optimum time that the president would have seized the opportunity to appoint one of those people, but he has not done that. So you can see people are questioning everything now. And then Brian Apunda doubles down and says the cracks kumsanzala ku bedroom have started too early imwe. So the opposition have been a field day with this. Friday me on a Friday, I can delete my files here, CDF fiance, obviously. You can see people just having a fun. And then CR1 says, it is finished, Hakainde Hichilema will lose the elections. Chule. The way things are, even if Hakainde Hichilema fires himself today, he will still win the election landslide. So that's according to CR1. CR1 cannot let go of Zambia. He's been deported, but it seems like most of his audience on his platform are very Zambian. So every now and then he chips in into Zambian politics. So he's giving his point of view there. Mao Samba also goes further to say the start of UPND 1, which is led by Hakainde Hichilema, and UPND 2, led by Gary Nkombo. Well, one is a businessman and another is a politician. You know the end results. So he simply says, if Gary Nkombo goes rogue, and in as much as he will lose that seat and probably some cases will follow him, you know how politics play out, but he's a very seasoned politician. That you cannot take away from him. So if he goes wrong, I don't think President Hakainde Hichilema anticipates the backlash that he's likely to get. But anyway, most likely he'll just go silent and be in the backbench. And as you expect, within the party, they might start demanding, because most likely he will not be voting with the UPND. So in parliament, you just sit it out. But that also, him sitting it out and being silent, is what is going to cost his seat in parliament. So now the UPND will be demanding to say, he's no longer even voting for us. I mean, with us in terms of passing certain bills in parliament. We might as well get rid of him and have a by-election in Mazabuka, which is obviously highly likely the UPND will carry whoever they're going to field against Gary Nkombo there. But still, if he breaks his silence and starts talking, whether within the opposition or in his individual capacity, the damage will not be something that they anticipate. Definitely. That's not a small fish in the opposition. I mean, in the UPND there. And then George Mutonga, this is still the Zambian diaspora having the point. I think regardless of our feeling, party members will always attempt to look at the brighter side of the situation. But it doesn't mean that there is no discussion. Our generation is not one where things happen to and people don't offer their own opinion. People can discuss, and yes, president has the power to appoint who he wants, but that doesn't mean his voters cannot talk about it. This is not an accepting what happens in the previous generation. These guys used VPN when the previous government shut down the internet. They own their own future and they will talk rightly so. After all, it's their future. So it simply says, them leaving it blank like this does not mean the people will go silent. So he simply says the youth will talk. And then he also goes to offer the same point of view to say, UPND has got young members of parliament in parliament. Why did President Hakainde Hichilema probably appoint him? He goes further to say, I would have gone for him. He's supposed to support the youth argument. He is young. He has energy. We can get at least 20 years of work out of him. Meaning, I think that's Romeo Kangombe from the UPND. And pretty much he goes further to offer his views, and obviously another Zambian diaspora, Mashaka Kashamba, says Gary Nkombo is fired, and then puts up that image, and also later on he put up his view, say fired on Friday. This still DJ Kasudi, and then George Mutonga still mourning the firing of Gary Nkombo with those memes there, and then. Mashake goes, how do you fire Gary Nkombo and leave Minister of Agriculture? This one has been pushing to say the weakest link in the UPND is the Minister of Agriculture. So what justification does the president have for firing Gary Nkombo and leaving that individual out? But then each person has got their own preference and point of view. The president is the one who has the powers, and he has decided regardless. So, I mean, they just have to take it. It is what it is. It is what it is. And then Emmanuel Mamba also puts up pretty much all the list of the women members of parliament that the UPND has and those that are youthful. There it says, UPND women and youth members of parliament that have remained backbenchers. The United Party for National Development as a reservoir of women and youthful members of parliament. But that does not motivate President Hakainde Hichilema to appoint them. I mean, why does not motivate President Hakainde Hichilema to appoint them so that his leadership is inclusive? He has used the excuse that he needs to amend the constitution so that women and youth can be included in the decision-making process or structure. So he says if that was the argument that the president put in, of course, this was the best time to appoint one of those people, but he hasn't. So meaning that push for constitutional reform has got an hidden agenda aside from that youth and women and people with disability argument. And he goes further to put out, say that's the current cabinet. Anyway, Gary Nkombo has been removed. He says, I suspect these will not come back after 2026 elections. What do you think? Pretty much that's the current cabinet of President Hakainde Hichilema. And that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. But obviously, this issue will not end here. Gary Nkombo has been fired as minister. Is going to take the backbench in parliament, but most likely he will be absconding or being absent from the votes. So that is going to provoke the UPND to fire him from the party, and obviously call for a by-election in Mazabuka, and most likely he's going to lose that. If he decides to remain quiet, I mean, he has served for a long period of time as member of parliament. He might decide just to go silent and let it be. But if he does not go silent and start speaking, this is going to be the Shimbakambuli Edgar Lungu repeat, where yes, Shimbakambuli was fixed and whatever, but the damage he had done to Edgar Lungu, by the time the elections were coming out, there's nothing that they could do to retrieve it. By the time he was rejoining PF, it was too late to do some damage control at that point. Anyway, let's wait and see how this plays out. But as things stand, we've got a new Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, CDF boss there. Politics.